Hello and welcome to this edition of EMS Now Up Close. I am Eric Miskell, publisher EMS Now, and today it's my pleasure to speak once again with Vivek Khanna. Vivek is the CEO of INDIC EMS Electronics. We're going to learn more about INDIC here in a moment, but I've spoken with Vivek several times before. It's a very exciting and growing EMS company based out of India, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to check in with Vivek and see what's happening on the other side of the world from where I live. So, Vivek, it's good to see you again. Thank you for agreeing to come on and speak with me again.
Thanks, Harry. It's same. It's always great pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm just glad
and
I have
a big audience and your real big audience.
Oh, very good. Thank you, sir. Well, listen, let's start kind of with the big picture about India. India is increasingly more and more of a story. Everybody's talking about it in the EMS industry. So tell me, what's happening in the Indian EMS sector? You know, there's tremendous growth. So what's driving that momentum?
You asked me today, India is really going through the manufacturing revolution. The numbers today speaks by itself. If you see the economy today, the way it's booming, they're projecting about 9.8% CAGR. I mean, we are reaching to something about 3.9 trillion GDP in 2024. And we have big numbers for 2030, but I'll just leave it there. When it comes to the PCBA, the particular market I'm associated with, today it's valued about 24 billion. And again, with a very projected CAGR of about 35%, by 2030, it'll be very, very different numbers and massive opportunity. If you ask me something else about it, big giants like Foxconn, Winstron coming out here, mainly direct for the iPhones and other mobile sectors, but it's not just those sectors. There are a lot of MSMEs working closely with the middle sector OEMs. In particular, I like to straightway talk about INDIC itself on this. We are really coming up with a brand new manufacturing facility. It's going to be 3 times the size of the current one. And it's with a collaboration of Simsu. It's a Japanese company. So we are not lagging behind. And we believe that our Indo-Japanese venture, of course, the venture is only centric to the plant. And the rest, every investment being done internally by INDIC itself. And with that, our workforce, which is the main criteria I believe into, will move from 1,000 to multiple of thousands.
Okay, excellent. Well, I didn't realize, so the overall EMS industry is going from 24 billion to 42.1 billion in that, gosh, that's great growth. And like you say, that's, and it's not just the big companies, because I hear a lot of stories about, like you said, that people like INDIC and some other EMS who are expanding and growing their business. And I notice one common theme, and they all have good growth forecasts for themselves, right? They all are, which I think is indicative of the movement towards India for a lot of manufacturing on the planet. Yeah. So I think that's a good trend, and I think that hopefully that continues for you there, because that's exciting. Let's talk a little bit. The year is over, so 2024 is behind us. We start almost 2 months into 2025, but let's look backwards first. Kind of give a recap. Talk about some achievements or initiatives that you're particularly proud of there with INDIC.
I said there are many things we did differently. And I'm more centric towards the people. As I always said, that I'm very particular about 80% employee strength will be women folks. And that's the only reason, unlike other Asian countries, we run our production house, other than the automated lines, into a single shift. So because it's a very different ball game from this women folks who come from the rural background, but very highly skilled. So if I have to count about the achievements, or in particular centric to INDIC, one is we are introducing a INDIC scholarship program what it entails is that it's like we'll fully fund a scholarship program for about 20 long-term employees, children each year, right up to the entire undergraduate education. So, I mean, we believe that the way to uplift people, my employees, and is their next spouse on the educational way. So every year we will have minimum 20 employees' children's ownership of their complete education till undergrad, and hopefully for some, we'll recruit them back into the company.
Excellent.
So it's a fully funded scholarship program. Then we also achieved certain very interesting things like we got the best supply chain award, Eric, from Mahindra, which is a huge honor because it's a 37 billion company. Then we also recognized by Schneider's electric supplier meet in Mumbai. And we were also very happy about and saying that the Dun & Bradstreet list of leading mid-corporate companies, we were among the few in that in that 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And we get also, I will not miss one particular point, is that we also got recognized by a Japanese company called Hitachi, which is a big feather to us. I mean, how rigorous on the process side companies like Hitachi are. So I feel that's, from an INDIC perspective, some achievements.
Okay. Well, and that's interesting. I like to hear, and you've mentioned this before, about the people and a lot of women coming in, which means that you must have a lot of training going on within the company too, and to train people up for this type of work. And is that a constant effort? I'm assuming that's IPC-based training as well, right?
That's true. Like what we have done, it is like we have got trainers trained by the IPC sort of people from the global perspective, and they further train because our manforce numbers are pretty huge. Right now, we are reaching to almost about 1,100 plus employees. So training, that's sort of 1,000 people. We have got this program where the trainers internally trained the newcomers, and we keep churning out this trainer program for the long-term employees. So that's one particular thing we are very particular about. Yes.
Okay. Hey, and just out of curiosity, as the industry is shifting to India, how is the localized supply chain? How is that developing within India and for INDIC? I know.
You ask me, it's going to a very interesting phase, because some of the things you would have heard it from others too, that the government PLI scheme, which has come up, where government puts about 25% of the investment, of your 75% of the investment, is only to create this ecosystem, which is completely lagging 3 to 4 years behind us.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've got a bad throat, so I'm really apologizing. And yes, the whole ecosystem is really getting created. One of the reasons we badly needed it, it's not just, as I said, on the mobile side, it's not just on the semiconductor side. On my particular industry of the EMS side, everyone realized, including the government, that the ecosystem for the right mechanical parts, because India, or in general the Asia, is known for not just building the assembly cards, but also a complete box build, because that's also a very people-centric work, which gives them a big cost advantage. So from that perspective, the whole industry about, when it comes to plastic molding, wire harnessing, companies like me are now working out, having an in-house wire harnessing facility. But there are enough available today. So it's pretty much comfortable ecosystem than what it was 5 years back.
Okay. That's good to hear. I would hope that it's evolving and developing as more business comes into the country. Listen, before I move into looking at 2025, let me ask. I know that you mentioned various of the accolades, the awards that you received from your customers, right, this past year. So I know that one of INDIC's thing from our previous conversation is kind of a customer first mentality, right? That you really are pushing that and really pushing for shared success with your customers. Maybe make a few comments on that and speak on how that's such a important part of your culture.
As you said, like customers is the important base, and what we realized was that our success in the earlier 90s and 2000s on the design side, or I'll say the software design side, was purely on the merits of quality and delivery. So the customer mindset, so it's not just a low cost model they come to Asia, but they still need a very, very competitive, very high quality product. And particularly companies like INDIC, which believes in a high mix, low volume. We are not competing with on the mobile side with the Foxtons or the other industrial products in millions. We try to work on the niche areas. So from that perspective, we understand the global customer requirements, working closely now for more than a decade with them. Like we also realized recently that I should have a supplement design team from a re-engineering, or I'll use the word from a manufacturability process perspective. And the talent of Bangalore really helped me onto that. Each company, from a global perspective, we realized that we can't be dependent on an outside vendor for test development. So company like INDIC, and I assume most of the other competitors in India are very clear about having an in-house testing development team. So these are the features we are adding it up to make sure that European customers in particular, and American for sure, should be very comfortable when they part the work to us.
Yeah. Very good, very good. No, I think you have a great story in the industry, and that's why I enjoy speaking to you and getting these updates, because I think India is an exciting time, and INDIC is an interesting and exciting company to track here. So we just started 2025. We're 6-7 weeks into it, whatever it is. Well, more now, right? We're into the started first quarter. What can we expect from INDIC this year in 2025?
Yeah, as I said, it's not just the expansion plan, which I shared earlier with you.
Yeah.
It's also, India is going through a different change on automation perspective or the AI perspective. What we have done is we have just moved down from SAP B1, B2 to S/4HANA. And so it's a complete, the new ERP system will definitely drive us on the efficiency and of course on the scalability across our operations. That's one. Other thing is I think we should be the only one in the Asia front. That's the way I've been told. We are going for also the digital manufacturing initiative by the SAP, which is integrated to only S/4HANA. So I mean, I've seen that sort of implementations from an MES perspective in Europe, particularly in Germany, and I've been told in Netherlands. But in Asia, will be the unique one who are going ahead along with the S/4HANA upgradation with the digital manufacturing, because we believe traceability and the AI data, pulling it up and integrating it right up to the through all level is a key element for automobile industry in particular. And that's one particular industry we have much dependency on from an INDIC perspective. That's our forte, the e-mobility part. And we are also trying to expand on the North America and the US. Of course, you can't ignore US in a lot of ways, including whatever Trump talks about.
Right.
So from that perspective, yes, we are strengthening there. But we'll still keep our commitment on the gender diversity. We'll maintain the 80% women in our workforce. But also some plans about only when somebody visits us, we can able to demonstrate on enhancing our daycare and medical facilities for the employees. We have some big plans on that.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent. Excuse me. Let me follow up. I'm catching your cold there, Vivek. Even though we're on opposite sides of the world. Hey, let me follow up on a couple of things there too, because that's excellent. So with the And I'd like to hear that about the SAP. That sounds like an exciting kind of endeavor that you're doing there. You also mentioned the construction of the new manufacturing facility. When is that targeted for completion?
The good thing is that, as you said, I'm just giving answer in two lines rather than two words, is that since I'm dealing with a Japanese company called Shimzu,
Yeah.
they are very process oriented. So they are taking 6 quarters. So since 2 quarters are over, so we should be through by early 2026.
Okay.
It should be running by
Very,
2026.
very good. And then you also mentioned about North America and, our new president and obviously.
Yes, we have a plans now on, since we already have a presence in Barcelona at this point, but we are going to have to start with the sales offices in Europe. We are adding one in Stockholm. On the US side, we are adding one in Houston, and in Australia, we are adding one in Sydney. And we are also almost on a sign off on a partnership in Thailand. So this is our aggressive roadmap.
Oh, excellent. So you'll be traveling the world here soon again. So
you don't have in a global life today, you don't have a choice. I think you do the same, I heard.
Yeah. Hey, are there any impacts on your business or expected? You mentioned Trump, and that goes with tariffs usually is what's happening over here. Any concern or any issues on that?
I don't think so, because one of the very interesting thing or the good thing about India is that we have very good relationship with the US, and particularly live with when it comes to China from a political aspect. We also are still, as you said, we are not in that category where we are still not in the first 10 leading countries on the import side. So we are way away from that. We are, most of the cases, we are self-sufficient when it comes to, this is the way a big country of a 1.4 billion comes to. So I don't perceive any impact, but rather my last visit when we met together in Munich, we see a lot of movement of people moving out from China and diverting it to you. So we have almost about 40 engagements during my last 20, the serious engagement in that 2024 Munich, November, where our presence was there. So I do a different sort of a tilt towards us. Only thing is, the optics about India as a manufacturing hub is still to be worked out. I mean, people still feel till they visit us that they sense sort of infrastructure issues, the power issues, which we can only demonstrate if they take a chance and visit any of the EMS, in particular INDIC.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a good insight too. And listen, China was that way decades ago too, right? When people first went. So it's this isn't unusual in the industry in that respect. So listen, before I let you go, I want to be respectful of your time there. I know our time difference is great between us here. Any final thoughts for my audience that you would like to share before I let you go?
What I believe it is like, particularly the Indian EMS industry today, it's really going through a inflection point. At INDIC in particular, we are building the products, we are building opportunities, we are definitely empowering people. Eric, we are shaping the future of manufacturing. There has never been a better time to invest, innovate, and grow in this space. That was my talk in Munich too, and I still stand for it.
Yeah, exactly. That was the consider India, compare India, right? So the whole theme is, give us a look and you'll be impressed with what you see. So now I do know that I know you're coming out. I should see you in a couple of weeks at Apex in Anaheim. You don't have a booth. You're not exhibiting this time, but you will be for a few days. Maybe you'll be at the show taking a look around. If people want to meet you, should we have people reach out if anybody wants to talk? How should that?
It will be great. Sorry, I just buzzed in. Sorry. Yeah, it will be great because I'll be there for almost a week, as you said, right from Monday till 1. That whole 4 or 5 days of 1. Yes, we are not put a booth because for us it's a first time entry, but I'm very sure going forward because US is a very, very important market at this point.
Mhm.
So they can always reach me on my mail, which is vivek@indicelectronics.com.
Okay.
Or, I mean, I think so. And I mean, or even on a mobile number, but will be definitely be reachable.
Yeah.
And I love to have their perspective, and I'm able to clear Indian perspective from the EMS domain.
Yeah, no, that would be excellent. And I'd also encourage people, if you want to reach out to Vivek directly. If you have a hard time doing that, reach out to me and I'll try to connect you to as best I can. So Vivek, thank you for your time. Thank you for the update. It's an exciting time in India and you have a good story to tell. So thanks for sharing it.
Thanks, Harris. Always is a real pleasure to talk to you. Really, thank you very much.
Good. I'll see you in a couple weeks in Anaheim.
Sure. Thanks.
Very good,
Bye.
sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks.